Hello everyone and welcome, my name's Ali and today I have the most amazing Black Ops 2 gameplay I've ever seen so far since Black Ops 2 has been released. It's ridiculous, but if you haven't seen any of my recent videos, click on screen right now to check those out. So this gameplay isn't mine, it was actually sent in by one of my subscribers. I had been following his channel since Modern Warfare 3, since he posted some Beast gameplay in Modern Warfare 3, and then this video popped up in my subscription box and he was happy to share it with you guys here on my channel. I'm going to run through his class loadout, his score streaks, the mentality he actually had when playing this game because he goes on a ridiculous streak, and basically just share with you guys my thoughts in multiplayer and what the player was thinking when he went on this ridiculous streak that you will see here within this video. So if you want to check out his channel, it will be a link in the description, so you can just click on that and you can find more videos from him. All I'd ask you guys to do is to hit that like button on this video. It takes a few seconds if you're logged into a YouTube account, and it just helps spread this video around because I know loads of people would love to see this amazing gameplay footage. One thing I would say about the one death in this video is that it's very, very unfortunate. You're going to have to watch the whole video to see what happens and how the one death occurs. So moving first of all onto the class loadout that the player is using within this gameplay, I'm sure you guys are really interested. Of course, he's using the M27. He's got the quick draw and suppressor attachments with the perks loadout. You can actually have a look at the image on screen. This isn't my preferred loadout for the M27. At the moment, I'm using the M27 a lot since I first saw this gameplay. I started using it more. It works amazingly with a suppressor, but I use a slight different loadout. I'll probably cover it in a different video very soon here on my channel, but this is a class loadout he's using, and one key thing to note while using a suppressor that the player does very well within this gameplay is actually working around the edges of the map and getting into the enemy spawn and basically just wrecking havoc, because once you're in the enemy spawn, once you've got a suppressor on your gun, if you maneuver yourself around the map cleverly and in a way that the enemies can't hit you from behind, then you're going to be causing loads of havoc because they won't know where you are. You can pick off one person, two people, three people, and the rest of the team will still be unaware that you're within their spawn. So it's very tactical. The player does it very well here, and it's something that I like to do in almost any game mode. It works very well indeed. Now moving on to the score streaks, is I think probably one of the most interesting parts about the gameplay, because he isn't using the VSAT or the Blackbird, which you tend to see in high scoring gameplays. People have that on as their starting score streak, with perhaps the Dogs and the Swarm as their next two score streaks, and it brings me back to the sort of whole argument of high score streaks versus low score streaks. I did a video on that a few weeks ago, and it's clear you don't have to be using necessarily the top score streaks to get Beast gameplays, as long as you're in the right mindset of not dying and just continuing the whole progression of rolling through your score streaks over and over and over, and try and avoid that death. Then even if you've got slightly lower score streaks on and you keep on cycling them, you can do just as well without the stress of the huge gap between 0 kills and your first Blackbird or your first score streak you have on, which is actually the lightning strike within this case, which is a far lower score streak than you'll often see people use when they go for those high scoring gameplays. The lightning strike is a fantastic score streak in itself. It has been changed slightly in the most recent patch. I talked about that in a video yesterday here on my channel, but the score streaks in use are the lightning strike, then the stealth chopper, and finally the lodestar, and all of them work really well together. It's a great target to aim for that lightning strike first, and to have the nice progression then to the stealth chopper and the lodestar. There's a sort of a 500 point difference in between each of the score streaks, so there's nothing too huge in terms of a jump in between the score streaks themselves. And talking about sort of the whole progression and momentum of the score streaks, the player actually told me that keeping a momentum was the whole idea within this gameplay footage, to keep the momentum rolling in his favour, constantly manoeuvring carefully around the map and constantly confusing the enemy by killing them and sort of picking them off one by one within their spawn, so that they were confused and didn't actually have too good of an idea of where he was at any point in time within this gameplay. Going back to the whole creator class that's being used within this gameplay. The M27 is fantastic, but I'd love to know what your go-to class is within Black Ops 2 at the moment. So just leave a comment down below. It doesn't have to be the whole class, it can just be a certain gun, perhaps a certain attachment, or even a certain perk that you have to be running with for you specifically to do really well within multiplayer. At the moment, the PDW and the M27 are my favourite guns to use, both with suppressors and using a sort of similar technique where I progress around the sides of the map and then work into the enemy spawns, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a future multiplayer commentary here on my channel. And something important to note about the use of score streaks in Black Ops 2 multiplayer is the new implementation of score streaks actually cycling and how that actually works within Black Ops 2. So say for example you've got the Lightning Strike, Stealth Chopper and Lodestar on, as we do within this gameplay here. If you got all three score streaks and didn't use any of them and cycled back down to your Lightning Strike again and achieved the Lightning Strike for the second time, your first Lightning Strike would just disappear. It would be as if you never got it. So what you want to be sort of keeping an eye on is making sure that you're using your score streaks and you're not cycling over them twice and losing the first one that you earned. Otherwise it's just going to basically be a useless score streak. And something else to note is the fact that if you're, say, about to get your second Lodestar and you call in your first Lodestar and you get enough points for the second Lodestar once you're in your first Lodestar, you won't get that second one. So you've got to make sure you're sort of thinking about that a little bit while you're playing, even if you're using lower score streaks, that they're not overlapping, but the score streaks which you're actually using, like the Lodestar where you're actually in it, can often find yourself cycling over them twice and losing the first one. So that's something just to be aware of. And this is actually the only death within the whole gameplay here, and it's not from a person shooting him. I actually had to slow down the footage and look at the kill feed just to work out exactly what happened. It's gut-wrenching, it's so annoying. The final score is 151 and 1, but the only death is from the Lodestar actually firing into the ground and hitting the bus or the car that was next to the player as he lied down in the Lodestar. That exploded and that killed him within literally the last second or two of the gameplay. So technically it should have been 151 and 0. But unfortunately it wasn't. There's that stupid death at the end. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been a ridiculous gameplay. If you have enjoyed, hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and make sure you're checking out the player in the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Check out more of my videos on screen here and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.